Hello my lovelies and welcome to the channel. We've had a birthday in the house this week. Of course, at the very exciting time, birthdays, we have a tradition in our family of doing birthday breakfast. So come along with me and let me show you what we make for our birthday breakfast. I've had this puff pastry sitting out of the fridge for the last half an hour, just coming to room temperature so it's easy enough to unroll. Now, I'm not going to lie, I haven't made this. It is shop bought, and life is just far too short to be faffing about when there's a birthday happening. You guys know how stressful kids' birthdays are. So I'm just laying these out nice and flat, and then I'm going to crack an egg and beat it up so that I can brush both sheets of pastry with the beaten egg. Next, I'm going to pour about 3 heaped dessert spoons, I think. Let me see. Yep. 1, 2, and 3. So 3 heaped dessert spoons of granulated sugar. Next, we're going to add in some ground cinnamon. So I am starting off with half a dessert spoon of cinnamon, just because cinnamon can end up tasting soapy if you use too much of it. So you're better off kind of putting a little bit less in and adding more if you think you need to. So now that we've got that mixed, I'm going to go ahead and didn't look quite enough. So I've gone with a full dessert spoon there of the cinnamon, and that looks a lot better. You just have to judge it by colour. So now I'm going to go ahead and just coat the sheet closest to me with the egg wash. And this is important because it helps the sugar and cinnamon mix to stick to it. Because if you didn't put this on, it would all just fall out when further down the process. So we're going to sprinkle an evenish layer over this sheet of pastry, and it doesn't have to cover 100%, but you want to get it all over. And I'm just being a wee bit precious here because I didn't want to get my hands too grubby because I was working with the camera. Usually I'd be in there with my hands swishing it all about, but it was late at night. Now I like to do this the evening before. You can do it the morning of, but I'm just trying to make the day a lot less stressful. So by getting this done at night time, I can remove that stress the following day, and it's just a case of baking and pulling them out ready to use. So with that other sheet of pastry, I'm going to pour the remaining egg wash on and just brush that over, and that's going to help glue the 2 sheets of pastry together. As if by magic, I am done. The power of editing. It's a wonderful thing. Now comes the tricky bit, to sandwich them together and try and get them to line up. So the sheets aren't going to be entirely symmetrical, but that's fine. We can sort of stretch them to make them fit. 1, 2, 3. Yep, there we go. It's not too bad, but a wee bit of stretching and it will fit. And try not to set the paper on fire. But as you can see, I'm just stretching a few wee bits, but I'm giving it a good press down to make sure that it all adheres together. Now, I'm a bit lazy. You can do this with a knife if you want, but I find it a lot easier to cut the strips with a pizza cutter or pizza wheel. It just means that I've got that one long run just to go along. So I do that and then I cut down the middle, because when you go to twist these and they're in the one long strip, it can be a bit much. So as you can see, I'm just giving these a good twist a few times, and that's going to make it not only look really pretty, but help it to cook as well. And this can get a little bit messy, so if you feel the need to wear gloves, by all means do so. So I've finally finished twisting all the pastry twists, and they are ready to go in the fridge for the evening. I'm just going to cover them with a bit of cling film, leave them in, and in the morning I'll bring them out and they can sort of warm up a little bit while the oven is doing its thing. I'm up before the craziness of the day starts, and I love this time of year where you get to see the sun rise. I thought I'd take a wee wander outside because it was just so peaceful this morning, and there's something really, really special about being out when there's nobody else around. I don't know about you, but I adore it. And watching that sunrise, climbing ever higher into the sky, there's just, it sets you up for the day and it makes you feel good. I'm back inside and I better get this oven on to warm up. So I'm turning it to 200 degrees Celsius. This is a fan oven. If you have a conventional oven, then it will be 220 degrees. I've got strawberries out the fridge too because they need to come to room temperature. Strawberries straight out the fridge don't taste that great. So I'm just taking the holes out because the birthday girl is not a fan of the green bits on strawberries. And what the birthday girl wants, the birthday girl gets. The pastry twists have been sitting there just warming up a little bit as well. Now that the oven's come to temperature, it's time to put them in. And these are going to bake for about 15 to 20 minutes. So that's just enough time to open birthday presents. Now, we love to dip these pastry twists in some warmed up Nutella. And yes, I know this is not the most healthy. I will never ever make any claims that this is a healthy breakfast. It is extravagant and, well, not extravagant, but it's special, and birthdays are special, so you should have a special breakfast on your birthday. So I'm just spooning this Nutella into individual dishes. It makes life so much easier if everybody has their own dish. And I'll pop these in the microwave just to help it be a bit runnier so that when you dip your strawberries or pastry twists into it, that it's not just going to come out in one great big clump on whatever you stick in there. So these pastry twists are ready to come out now. I'll stand well back so I don't get a face full of steam. And as I pull these out and show you, you're probably going to think that they're burnt, but I promise you they're not burnt. I'll give you a closer look in a wee second. I should have grabbed another tea towel trying to take that out. I made that look about 10 times more awkward than it should be. But anyway, we live and learn. So as you can see, some of these look burnt. It's just that the sugar has caramelized. It's not actually burnt. It does look a lot darker than the dough up close. So, don't worry if it looks like it's burning. I promise you it's not. The pastry was perfectly cooked. And now it's time to plate up. These have had about 5 minutes just to cool down so that they are cool enough for me to handle. It's always lovely to eat these pastry twists when they're still warm. Something just really lovely about warm pastry. Or anything baked, having it warm is just, yeah, I don't have the words. So I'm just stacking these all up on the plate, and I will grab the next one and get that put on too. I always make far too many of these, but that's fine because we'll snack on them throughout the day as well. I hope that you've enjoyed coming along with me whilst I prepare the birthday breakfast. I know that we all thoroughly enjoyed eating this. If this is something that you decide to make, I would love to know what you think about it. And if this video is something that you've enjoyed watching, I would be most grateful if you would hit the subscribe button. Until next time, my lovelies, take care of yourselves.